In the rural heartland of Mewat, south of Delhi, a quiet spiritual movement began in the 1920s. Unlike the political upheavals of colonial India, this was a revolution of faith, aiming to reconnect the Meo peasants with the basics of Islam. The Tablighi Jamaat emerged to revive religious identity, focusing on daily prayer and devotion rather than politics or debate. Under British rule, traditional religious knowledge had faded, leaving rural Muslims vulnerable to outside influences and religious confusion. The movement's approach was simple: invite Muslims back to core practices, one person and one village at a time. By avoiding political entanglements and focusing on fundamentals, the Jamaat's message spread quietly but powerfully. Its strength lay in humble, disciplined followers traveling village to village, fostering spiritual renewal through personal example. Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Kandhlawi, educated at Darul Uloom Deoband, was the visionary behind this revival. The Deobandi school emphasized returning to the Quran and Sunnah, purifying Islamic practice and personal piety. Troubled by the Mayos' lack of religious knowledge, Maulana Ilyas realized that traditional schools weren't enough. He shifted to a grassroots approach, taking the message directly to the people. His motto, "O Muslims, become true Muslims," called for active, daily commitment to faith. The movement wasn't about new interpretations, but reviving the lived reality of Islam as practiced by the Prophet. By empowering ordinary Muslims to spread the faith, the Jamaat democratized religious outreach. This shared responsibility became the engine for the movement's global growth. Maulana Ilyas outlined 6 core principles, the Chebatain, to guide personal spiritual growth. First is the Kalima, the declaration of faith meant to be deeply internalized. Second is Salat, the 5 daily prayers performed with focus and in congregation. Third, Ilm, our Dhikr, basic religious knowledge and constant remembrance of God. Fourth, Ikram-e-Muslim, honoring fellow Muslims, fostering humility and unity. Fifth, Ikhlas-e-Niyat, sincerity of intention, acting only for Allah's pleasure. Sixth, Dawat-o-Tabligh, dedicating time to travel and invite others to faith. These principles emphasize action, sincerity, and community, forming the movement's practical foundation. The act of leaving home for outreach is seen as the pinnacle of personal sacrifice and spiritual growth. The Jamaat's method centers on Khuruj, traveling in small groups to focus on faith and outreach. Members live simply in mosques, dedicating themselves to prayer and inviting local Muslims to join. Their approach is gentle and non-confrontational, fostering community through humility and respect. Decisions are made by mashwara, or mutual consultation, reinforcing shared responsibility. Daily talim or learning circles inspire piety and motivate action through stories and teachings. Large annual gatherings or ijtemas unite followers from around the world, reinforcing the movement's message. The focus remains on personal reform and communal solidarity, not public debate or confrontation. This hands-on, person-to-person model has proven remarkably effective in spreading the movement's ideals. After the 1947 partition, the Tablighi Jamaat expanded rapidly, establishing major centers in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and beyond. Migrants and missionaries carried its message to over 150 countries, especially among diaspora communities in the West. The Jamaat's apolitical, non-confrontational stance allowed it to operate freely across diverse political landscapes. Members are instructed to avoid politics and focus solely on the 6 principles. This approach has enabled global growth, though some criticize it for political passivity. The movement's humility and inward focus contrast with more activist Islamic groups. Its mission is to reform society from within, one individual at a time. By steering clear of politics, the Jamaat has built a vast, resilient network. Its strength lies in quiet, consistent spiritual work rather than public activism. The Tablighi Jamaat's appeal lies in its simplicity, accessibility, and focus on spiritual fundamentals. It empowers ordinary Muslims to deepen their faith and build community through personal responsibility and mutual support. Critics argue its apolitical stance encourages withdrawal from social issues, and its secrecy has led to suspicion. The COVID-19 pandemic brought controversy, thrusting the group into the spotlight after a major gathering in Delhi. Despite criticism, the Jamaat's grassroots model of spiritual revival remains resilient and influential. Its quiet, apolitical approach has made it the world's largest Islamic movement, insisting that true change begins in the heart. In a noisy world, the Tablighi Jamaat's silent revolution continues to shape Muslim identity through devotion and community.